who's starting?
Oh, whoever.
Okay. Most professional introduction for the second week running.
You know, it's it's just that kind of thing.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to part 2 to the redacted Mueller report. Joining me for this to go through all the obvious points of, but this person be Russian, therefore they be bad, and because they know American and that American's running for president, that be bad and might be bad and possibly be collusion, is TrupsLP. Say hello, TrupsLP.
Hello, TrupsLP.
What is TrupsLP drinking today?
Just Dr. Pepper. I just got home from work and immediately jumped on here, set up the stream, and here I am.
I have a glass of Tennessee honey because, well, my brother-in-law, he left his really nice weighted Tennessee honey glass, and yeah, it's mine now. I might see if they do
Very good.
Might see if they do a Tennessee Fire one.
I noticed that the fire are more localized. So when I got the Jack Daniel's Fire, I had never had it when I originally lived in Jersey, but when I moved down south, it was everywhere.
The Tennessee Fire is... I had a bottle... when my older sister decided to tell me she was pregnant with her first child, because she went through she doesn't have a partner, she went down the IVF route. She bought it for me as a gift. I assumed to make me feel a bit calmer about the fact that my sister was having a kid, and I thought, you don't have to do that to butter me up, because I just don't give a shit.
Yeah, but booze.
Oh yeah, I'm okay with that now, but in the context I thought it was a bit silly. Before we go anywhere, thank you, Michael Morris, who before the stream started donated £35 with a comment, bottle of Kraken. I will in fact buy a bottle of Kraken. I've got some still, so I don't need it just yet, but I will do that. Yeah. What has happened since the Mueller report has come out, Trups?
So there's actually been some very interesting I don't even know if you want to call it like changes or updates, but the most interesting part that I found was that none other than Hillary Clinton made a very asinine comment.
Oh.
She said yesterday that anyone other than Trump would have been indicted for obstruction.
Right.
And I thought that was the most BS comment ever. And I do want to sit and talk about this for a little bit.
Go for it.
So Hillary Clinton said yesterday that she believes Donald Trump would have been indicted by Robert Mueller if he was not Donald Trump and the president. Which, okay, let's run it back real quick. This is Hillary Clinton, the one who blamed Russia for her losing the election, blamed Jim Comey for losing the election, blamed anyone but herself for losing the election, and not to mention, one of the people that she blamed even got her out of her own indictment.
Yeah, privilege.
Oh, I thought it was the funniest fucking comment and the most, like, not self-aware statement ever.
The leg to stand on, almost non-existent.
It's a crutch made out of balsa wood.
Not the most stable.
Yeah, no. Has one wrong move, you'll probably snap it.
Has there been any progress on the requests to have it unredacted, the Mueller report, or Mueller report, sorry?
Yes. So Trump has okay, so it's in conjunction with some of the things that came out during the Mueller report. Jared Kushner has been subpoenaed to testify before Congress on him allowing lax security clearances in the White House.
Right.
The quote intelligence community, had disapproved of several of the candidates of which Jared Kushner pushed through anyway. Because Jared Kushner was a subject of controversy during the Mueller investigation, and because Trump is president, they are subpoenaing him to testify. Trump has basically said, fuck off, I'm now stepping in. And he basically threatened to sue Congress over the subpoena.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's getting to the point where, come on, you're just BSing at this point, right? I mean, let's be honest for a second. Like, there is no fucking reason why you have to keep hunting this. It's over. Let it go. And it's very bizarre because basically Trump's comment today was, "Quit your shit and go back to work."
Do you think?
And I thought that was the most.
Do you think it'll work?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I'm going to say doubt, but sure.
The reason why it will work is because the president has what we call executive privilege.
Okay, and what is that to the Brits like me?
It basically says that executive privilege can be basically used to avoid any indictments on a sitting president.
Is that
now,
like
Trump?
The thing someone I know it's not true, but you can't sue the president. That kind of thing. Is that what it
Pretty
means?
much.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. But basically, what it boils down to is that he is going to use the powers that are given to the president to basically check the Congress. So remember how our system works with checks and balances?
Yeah.
Whereas basically each of the branches have their own methods of checking the other.
Right.
Well, executive privilege would basically be one of those options that the executive has to overrule another branch in conjunction with the others. So he would basically use executive and judicial powers to say, Congress, quit your shit.
I loved. I want to talk about. You mentioned Congress earlier today in PMQs. So there was PMQs for those who are watching, but it was barely. It was PM wasn't even there. It was Dave Liddington and Emily Thornberry, and some stand-in for the SNP as well. And during the questioning, and it is relevant to the Congress remark, they were talking about Trump's state visit, the red carpet, and talking about Nancy Pelosi and somebody else. But they were instead of referencing the president and his ideas and beliefs, they were treating it as if Nancy Pelosi was the president herself. And I thought that was quite fascinating. Along with talking about Greta, some little girl. But I thought it was quite interesting that they considered Nancy Pelosi, Emily Thornberry did, considered Nancy Pelosi the face of America.
That's very bizarre.
It was quite strange when referencing Congress of all things, when she herself is, well, she's the speaker. That's it.
Yeah, quite right.
I don't think that makes her the most powerful person. I think it just makes her the face of Congress.
Well, yeah, and not even like all of well, okay, so she'd be the Speaker of the House, so only one branch of Congress at that.
I think Maddie in the chat puts it best. Pelosi is the face of dementia.
Jesus Christ. Does that mean that Hillary Clinton was the face of a stroke?
The face of a back brace. No chill. No chill on Maddie there. Pelosi has gone as high as she can possibly go. No one outside of San Fran likes her. Yeah. I can't refute it. I can't refute that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Much.
Is there anything else that happened since it came out?
So that's basically going on right now. So it'll be interesting to see how that progresses.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure. If we can discuss this now actually with the chat.
Sure.
I'm sorry that we're taking a little long before getting into the report.
I apologize. I think it's important.
For the purposes of tomorrow, when or rather Friday, when we would normally do our political recaps, depending on how far we get today, we can either continue with it again
Mm-hmm.
for a third part and then be done, or we can go back into our usual political recap on Friday.
Or if
I'm leaning.
so, go
Yeah.
on. You do your bit first.
I was gonna say I'm leaning towards the second option.
Mm-hmm. I'm okay with that. There's still a possibility that a part 3 might be necessary, but not as a full stream.
Right.
Like, we could reference final bits, perhaps, if we don't get to them. But I do get the impression from looking at what I saw today that a lot of this can be skipped over, because it just seems to be they're Russian. That's all we've got.
Pretty much.
Yep.
So I'll pose that question to the chat and feel free to answer.
Yeah, please do chat.
And yes, Nella, I do notice you there in my chat. Nice of you to sit. Thank you.
Should we jump into this then?
Yeah. Feel free to answer the question in the chat while we continue.
I have pulled it up on page 36, I believe. Russian hacking and dumping operations. Oh, this is going to be fun. I need a big drink.
Good. I'm going to swap over on my end as well.
Okay.
So Russian hacking and dumping operations. So this is what we were talking about last time with primarily WikiLeaks information.
There was quite a bit of it.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting because you notice that they mentioned that starting in April 2016, the Russians, GRU stands for basically Russian hackers, hacked into the computer networks of the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee and the DNC.
Yeah, we covered GRU last time. It did stand for something, but I just can't remember. We'll just call them...
It wasn't really relevant.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We'll just call them GRU. It works. Come on.
You notice that they mentioned specifically that they hacked into the Democrats here.
Oh, the DC leaks.
Right. But I don't know necessarily if that's true. It's just that is what we could prove evidence of.
Oh, yeah, Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, yes, the DCCC. And the DNC itself. I think... I mean... I don't know much about whether or not that is actually proven, whether GRU did do that, because I didn't follow the WikiLeaks stuff. I was at uni at the time. I was busy. So I don't know.
I mean, 2016, that's 3 years ago, so.
Oh shit, no, I misread that. That's 2006. It says a lot about my eyesight today.
I was going to say, 2006? Dude, you don't even want to know how young I was.
You know, I'm sure how young you were and how fucking pissed beyond belief I was. You know.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That would make sense.
I probably acted like your age back then.
Ooh, probably.
Yeah. Okay, so 2016, GRU hacked. Do we have any confirmation of that?
We do, because that was... Do you remember around that time when Hillary Clinton's emails, the confidential ones,
the ones that went missing,
that were supposedly deleted?
Yeah.
How they were released. Some 30,000 of them.
The ones that were either deleted and or shredded.
Yes.
Yes, I remember that. That was quite... I was busy with Brexit, but that was delicious.
Basically, what people fail to remember sometimes is that your communications are stored in multiple locations.
That's good.
Much like if you were to delete your texts from your phone. Somebody else who received it has the receiving end of that text, or your cell company has evidence of that.
They keep records of it. It's not just that, but the phone itself or the device can keep an imprint. It can be some messages can be real. If you delete a hard drive, it doesn't mean it's gone. It is still possible to get things back.
Oh, absolutely. Let's put it this way: should you ever go into a copy machine and copy something, there is a temporary cache of memory that your copier has
Mm-hmm.
that one could access and pull information from,
Yep.
um, should they know how. And that is a very crucial thing, just to tell you how much the individual communications, even the simplest things that you wouldn't imagine,
Mm-hmm.
are exploitable, exploitable. Yeah.
Exploitable. Yes.
Yes. Um,
Exploitative sounds
ex- I
different.
think that means able to be exploited.
Yeah, it sounds like it almost sounded made up for a second.
Yes. Um, but yeah, so that was the thing. Also, to those in the chat, Dibula, the question was go back to regular political recap or part 3.
Yeah, so do you want us to do a part 3 to this if we can't finish it today? Or do you want us to go back to doing a political recap where I could then talk about PMQs because, let's face it, that would actually be quite amusing to hear
Mm-hmm.
the input of somebody who doesn't watch PMQs in the form of you.
You were a little quiet there. Were you
Sorry.
further away from your microphone?
Yeah, I leaned back. My apologies. I said
That's all right.
that as you don't watch PMQs, and this is a substitute. Oh, that was loud. Thank you, Crunchy Karma. That's very kind of you. On Friday, I could do a partial PMQ response with you as my contribution to our political recap. Because it's not the Prime Minister and Corbyn. You get to watch it with two people being cordial, and you'll get to hear the Trump-related Pelosi remarks.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, I think.
So yeah, basically it's a bit of both.
Mm-hmm. So we get to do that.
Awesome.
Some PMQs and some political recap. Maybe a bit of this. It might go on for a while. Who knows? I'm in an empty house.
Yep.
Doesn't actually matter.
Sounds fantastic. So yeah, now that we got that out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let's move on down. Oh, and little bit of techie advice
Mm-hmm.
for all those watching. If you have not yet changed your router password, change your router password.
The sad thing here,
Thinking about the possible exploits that
Yeah.
one's own technology could be susceptible to, I have to mention that.
sadly, with the company I'm with, they send you a card with a password on. We can't change it. I can't change it myself. I have to call them to send
As long
me.
as it's not admin.
Oh no, it's actually really fucking complicated for a password with letters,
That's all
numbers,
right,
letters,
because-
numbers, and symbols. It's quite weird.
Unfortunately, a lot of routers default to admin, or admin password, or admin no password.
I use a password derived from the language of chaos, derived from a book called the Liber Chaotica, a book that cost me.
I was hoping that you were going to say the Necronomicon.
A leather-bound book encased in hardened plastic and chains, and there's a language within it which I create all my passwords from. And it is
Awesome.
really fucking difficult to understand it, which is brilliant. Because I know the translation, therefore I can write it.
I kind of do. I know certain translations of certain books that I can't divulge.
I'll send you a picture of some of the language. You'll love it. It's cool. Some of the pictures are brilliant. Back to this though.
All right,
where are we going to next?
Well, I feel like A is basically talking about exactly what we just talked about.
Okay, so this was because of the whole she deleted shit. Whatever happened on that front? She deleted crap. Did she ever get in trouble for it?
Yeah, no, that is the subject of a lot of controversy. Yes, she did get in trouble, but she was exonerated by Jim Comey. Or not exonerated, but she did not get charged.
If I remember correctly, and I have to pull him up on this, I guess, briefly. When I get elected, I'm putting you in prison.
Yes, that was the lock her up chance that you heard.
Yeah, I mean, I still want to see him do. I still want to see him do that.
I quite like the lock her up chants. I think they're funny.
I agree.
But you know, I actually found something very interesting. That you'll see actually on the last line of page 36. Investigative technique. A Bitcoin mining operation.
Lol.
Your Bitcoins used to purchase computer infrastructure used in hacking operations. I fucking guessed that they were going to do something like that.
Oh no.
I wanted them to actually do a legitimate coin and call it Americoin,
Oh dear,
and
Americoin.
divulge that processing power would be used to crack ciphers.
Americoin. Dear oh dear.
I mean, come on, they have stupid names.
Oh, they do. On
I
Mines.
own Dogecoin.
On Mines, they use a load of cryptocurrencies. And I have a load of it, but I don't know how to use any of it. Hello, Neela. Thank you for coming over here and not.
I can teach you.
Make me feel excluded. That'd be great to teach me actually, but I noticed on the list of one of the sites I had to sign up for to be able to get it, that there is a mountain of lists of different currency names, and I'm like, I don't.
I actually took some time in learning it.
I would have, but I found it was more interesting to ask people to draw me as a trap.
Good. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Well played.
Yeah.
So moving on to this, you see that the
onto this, underneath investigative technique.
Yeah, scrolling down. Well, let's see here. Do you want to do intrusions into the DCC and DNC networks? That's on page 38.
On it.
Okay, so it looks like by no later than April 12, 2016, the GRU had gained access to the DCC computer network using the credentials stolen from a DCC employee who had been successfully spearphished the week before.
Hang on.
That sucks.
They got spearphished? That's amazing.
So a pointed phishing attempt.
That is brilliant.
Please put in your username and password to renew your security. Oh, okay.
That's basically, I am Nigerian prince. You give me bank account and I'll give you $1 million.
No. Hello, Spirit Upgrades. He says, Sup Trups and my lord, O-Face. I think that one's you.
Giggity. How you doing, baby?
But no, I find that hilarious that some fucking employees got snagged.
Mm-hmm. That's brilliant. And Dibula says that was Podesta.
Was it?
It wasn't who had the password as his password.
Oh my god. I wouldn't doubt it.
Amazing. I love it.
But you notice how early on they had that? Like,
they were sitting on it for a while.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, and it says, over the ensuing weeks, the GRU traversed the network, identifying different computers connected to the DCC network. That wouldn't be hard.
Nope.
By stealing network access credentials along the way. Why would you have IT administrators with unrestricted access?
I would assume.
Like, okay, I get it having a super admin, but you turn that shit on and off.
Yeah, that's what I think. They should. We're capped in hindsight now. You should have credentials that expire when you leave the workplace that you are working within. Your credentials are only valid when you're in a certain area, perhaps. Otherwise, if you've got all these unfettered access, you're just being lazy and setting yourself up to be hacked. Capped in hindsight for the advice, everyone.
And also, if you're at all interested in network security, that's just good fucking practice.
Yeah.
And apparently they gained access to 29 different computers on the DCC network. Now, apparently they had no fucking cybersecurity on this shit that could detect any malicious actions going through their network, clearly.
Yeah, I had heard, I don't know what your computer's like, but we have similar issues over here with, like, for example, our NHS can be hacked quite easily because all you have to do is realize, oh, look, they're still operating under Windows 95. Right.
That is one of my biggest complaints with, like, the work that I do, but I'm not going to talk about it here, but I feel that pain.
I know the pain all too well. But it's still a, it's that kind of mentality of not keeping your systems and your protocols up to date.
Exactly. If you don't have a fucking system to upgrade your at least your fucking encryption for your network once in a while, come on. Are you even a government agency?
So what I have to point out now is something fairly obvious. While this does tie to a Russian group, how does that tie to Trump?
So I think this one was supposed to be I think this whole section is to be proving opposition against Clinton.
Lol.
But you make a good point. Like, what does this have to do with Trump?
Yeah,
I think this is
if this was
what's the
if this was for a debate or a speech and someone was providing intelligence against her, yeah, this is good opposition. But it's not relevant to him at all, unless it's setting up a straw man.
Well, we kind of knew that a straw man would be created for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Okay, so yeah, you've got a point. And this part does not tie to Trump at all. I don't think it does. It ties to the group that he has been linked to very early. In the first part we did, Guru were referenced with him because of people he knew or people worked for him that were then referenced with them. That's it. That doesn't...
Pretty much.
It's so...
This is like
it's so...
layers upon layers of association.
It's guilt by association, but it's not even that. It's so feeble. It doesn't have any leg to stand on. It's like it's I don't know.
No, you're right. But then then it gets even worse because then they implement malware into the DCC and DNC networks, known as X Agent and X Tunnel.
Okay, do we know what they
and
are?
Mimi cats. I'm like, why didn't you just use a rat?
Oh, rat would have been perfect.
Rat is beautiful.
I might have considered a weasel, but rat will do.
That one's good too.
Yeah.
I like rat because I tend to watch videos on it sometimes because I mean I did dabble in ethical hacking while I was in school.
Yeah, so Maddie in the chat's quite right. They can't tie anything to Trump. They keep finding other people doing stuff and the Dems doing stuff, but they can't find any of it to him. That is a big point we took away in the first stream we did on this, and so far I'm leaning in the direction that perhaps that's what this is going to be as well. We'll see how bored I get in an hour's time, and if I'm still incredibly bored...
Sean...
Wait, what?
Sean says, I thought Trump was the straw man now that he's busy making Outworld great again.
Shit.
Does that make him Shao Kahn?
He's Shao Kahn. Fuck. Wait, who's Johnny Cage?
Like, at least you... at first I thought he was going to say Earthrealm, but no, there is no fucking Johnny Cage.
You're right. He's
this is Armageddon, where everyone's fucking dead.
Oh, what about Sub-Zero? I like Sub-Zero.
One of my favorite Mortal Kombat games. I like how 120 footnote explains what a VPN is.
Oh god, yeah, look down here at the bottom.
Yeah.
I actually do need to get one because I had to get somebody else to archive a Chicago Tribunal article for me because I couldn't view it in this country. And it was because you weren't about because you're working. So I had to send it to somebody in Texas. And she didn't know how to use archive.is. She's a funny little trap.
Okay.
Back to this, though.
Yeah,
And
so
look, everyone,
going down...
Learning how to use VPNs, so everyone take notes. If you don't just, follow the link Bearing tells you all to go to.
Yeah, NordVPN, sponsor me.
Please. I could do with the money.
Right, and then it says, to operate X Agent, this is the next page, by the way, before the massive redaction.
Yeah, I'm on it. There's a huge redaction.
To operate X Agent and X Tunnel on the D... Yeah, why don't you just tell everybody how to use fucking malware? Why not? Officers set up a group of computers outside those networks to communicate with the implanted malware. Okay, so you basically created like a subnetwork.
Yep.
And then AMS panel. Did no one notice?
Congratulations. Fucking idiots.
Yeah, this is not only a failure of an IT person, but this is a failure of anybody monitoring that, because that means they didn't even know how to fucking use Wireshark.
That tells me that, when they go through the application process, they're not looking at the qualifications of the person and the skills they bring to the table. They're looking at how good they look in that dress. Or how well they answer the telephone. Because apparently someone going, "Hello, IT, have you tried turning it off and on again?" is not enough for them.
Wait, what was that voice?
That was from a TV show called The IT Crowd.
Oh, I'm like, wait a second, I know that voice.
That is literally how Roy answers the phone every fucking time.
Jesus.
Partially, I think he was Irish, but I can't do Irish.
That's all right. Neither can I. I have to literally sit and listen to it for a while before I can mimic it.
To be fair, even the Irish can't do the Irish without booze.
That's all right. Let's see here. Let's keep going.
Oh, and I
Giant
do
redaction.
not expect the government to be competent. I look at my own and realise, yeah, doubt.
I wonder if they only hacked the DNC because the RNC had fucking crypto.
I thought perhaps it was because their entire manifesto and all their secrets are written on the back of a Bible.
That might be true too.
Hidden in...
It's not not like the Republicans have much to hide.
No.
It's like, what do you stand for? Well, we don't want to kill children or babies. Okay. Anything else? We like guns. Okay.
We're going to kill the gays. Yeah.
Well, no. We're not from Brunei.
My mistake. Sorry, I thought you were the same thing.
Oh no, different kind of radical religious.
I'm sure there are some monsters in the closet. I'm sure there are.
Oh, I'm sure, but there's monsters everywhere.
Yeah. Are we on page 40 now?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Theft of the documents. We kind of already knew that, but I like how cruise was one of the search words.
Oh, the Zodiac Killer. Yeah, here we are.
I love
DNC,
that he
Cruz,
plays up.
and Trump.
Come on, you had to be looking for more than that.
I like that he plays on that, like you said. That is just brilliant.
And I like that 131 investigative technique. And I was like, what the fuck was it? It was just your network cyber stuff that allowed you to look back at what previous messages were sent. That's not an investigative technique.
That's like reverse image searching.
Yeah, it's like I used Google to find this answer. Oh, okay.
That's basically WebMD for fat people. Ah, it's brilliant. Reverse image search. I love it.
Let's see here. GRU also stole documents from the DNC network shortly after gaining access on April 22nd, 2016. Earth Day, everybody. Copied files from the DNC to GRU-controlled network, stolen documents including DNC's opposition research, which ironically was funded by Russians. So actually what they did was they just took back their copyright.
That's interesting.
That's funny, isn't it?
I like that the Russian, if they're so evil, they played on both sides.
Isn't that the funniest thing? They are like the best chaotic neutral.
They in this circumstance, they are definitely the front runners. They played both sides. The thing is, what money did they gave a load of money to the Clinton Foundation, didn't they? Right.
Well, the Ukrainians did. No, the Russians did. Yeah, uranium won.
Right. So they gave a lot of money to the Clinton Foundation, and obviously there was some nuclear-related sales going on, coincidentally, of course. And I don't recall any donations like that going to anything Trump does. I know he doesn't have a foundation that I know of, but when he was running anyway. But perhaps if they were going to
no direct ones, I would assume, but there might have been like
perhaps they were going to invest in the Trump Tower in Moscow or something.
Yeah, it might have been a quid pro quo, which is a different kind of unethical behavior, but
Yeah, meh.
Wasn't president.
Poof, who cares? Doesn't matter.
It was a potential to almost be conspiracy, but it wasn't.
Yeah, but because it wasn't, they still have shit
right,
on
exactly.
Them. They still have nothing.
Yeah. And then let's see here. The next one talks about the two usernames that did things.
Is this on
those
page
being
41?
DC Leaks and Guccifer 2.0.
Hang on, are we on page 41?
Yeah, I'm kind of just scrolling through it right now to see if there's anything worth a damn looking at.
Okay. Fumbling Buffoon
Page
Institute.
43. I like on 43 it says the GRU also used the Guccifer 2.0 WordPress blog.
Oh God.
WordPress is a fucked system. I don't know who's operating WordPress, but WordPress is fucking like just malware everywhere.
When I used to use it long ago when I was unemployed. I used it as a way of detailing everything I did to look for work when I was unemployed for 5 years, and then I can show that to the job center and they could keep an eye on it. But the problem they had was the malware issues were so bad they could never pull it up on their systems. I had to use my tablet or my phone to show them. And even that was shit.
WordPress and Blogspot, both of them, fucking cancer.
Yeah, I've not used it in years, thankfully.
they're basically unrestricted at sites
Yeah.
of the internet where literally the worst of the worst go.
This is why I'm so eternally grateful YouTube has worked out, because I don't have to go near those kind of sites.
Right. And like this is coming from a guy who's very tech oriented and who grew up in this internet age. Blogspot and WordPress are more disgusting than Tumblr. Let me just point that out as a little aside, by the way.
Maddie, I'm not criticizing your blog. I have seen it. I do.
No. Not everyone is bad or evil. Like there are some like 12-year-olds who like are learning their first computing thing on WordPress. But there are also terrible people who use WordPress.
Yeah. That's what
and
I'm referring to.
there are far more terrible people than good people.
Sorry, Maddie, you're outnumbered by retards.
Yep. But hey, keep doing you.
I like your new stuff. Your new stuff's good. Keep going.
You have to send me a link later. Yep. So basically, release documents include opposition research. We knew that.
Yep.
Okay, now we're in June.
Yep. Beginning.
So this was interesting, related to the Michael Cohen hearing. Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember it because we covered it.
Yes. So beginning in late June 2016, the GRU also used Guccifer 2.0 persona to release documents directly to reporters and other interested individuals. Now, this was important because apparently Trump had gotten information or had gotten a phone call in which Cohen was in the room for that Russia had documents in July.
Yeah.
So I'm glad this part is here. Because that gives testament to how much full of shit Michael Cohen is.
He's going to have so much fun. Is he the one going to prison?
I fucking hope he's the one going to prison. He's supposed to report, I think, in like, what, 2 weeks?
I couldn't remember if it was him or Manafort, so I had to ask.
Him too.
Well, I hope he does. And Serene, I don't think Tiffany...
Sean, I'm on new grounds. Fuck off.
Serene, I don't think Tiffany shows up here. I did mention I do stream here, but it's highly possible that, quotes, Tiffany will show up. That's a game stream related thing. Don't worry, I'll tell you later.
Oh, okay.
You'll love it.
So the GRU even sent a reporter a password and linked to a leaked portion of DCLeaks.com website.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, no.
And sent an email to a news outlet called, ironically, The Smoking Gun. That's beautiful.
And that would be on the third line here, by the way, for those who are interested. Offering to provide exclusive access to some leaked emails linked to Hillary Clinton's stuff. Oh, wow.
That's fucking amazing.
I have to sit back and... I want to sit back and just bask in it, but if I do that, then people can't hear me properly. I'll take
but like we can imagine, basically orgasm sounds from Meg.
Let me just prep myself.
The moistness intensifies.
I had to take a drink just so I can make that sound.
Okay. Oh god. Can't wait to see the chat on that one.
Yeah.
Let's see here. On August, the Guccifer persona transferred approximately 2.5 gigs of Florida-related data. Just Florida.
Hang on. No. 2.5 gig, is that it?
Yeah, right?
Florida-related data, I assume stolen from the DCCC. Yep. Right, so what was stolen was probably like just a bunch of clips.
Florida's
dumbest criminals.
Yo, okay, I saw one today. And it says, Florida man arrested for threatening to take over town with army of turtles.
Amazing.
I fucking love Florida man memes.
Florida man is fantastic.
But yeah, so basically, by this point, everyone had the information. In fact, some people on Hillary Clinton's own campaign should have had access to the shit. Also, I love that he had an AOL.fr email. I don't know. I guess that's AOL France.
I think it is. I think so.
VPNs forever.
Yep.
Oh god. Okay, let's keep going. Gru was also in contact with a Guccifer persona with Blank, a former Trump campaign member. Kushner, maybe?
I would say Dibbler's right. So the GRU were interested in Florida Man, aren't we all?
Gru was actually Florida Man all along.
This is where Trups is on 44 now. Just let everyone know in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, GRU. They're everywhere.
Twitter suspended Guccifer.
Are they really?
And then they reinstated it.
Oh, yes, it's here, isn't it? Yeah. Posing Gucci
Thank you for writing back.
Gucci for 2.0. Wow. That's amazing.
Good job, Twitter.
Oh, wow. That's...
All right. Then we talk about WikiLeaks, it looks like.
Ooh. Now we're talking.
Wait, hold on. Footnote 157. WikiLeaks. Hillary Clinton email archive. Available at wikileaks.org/Clinton emails.
Glorious.
Thanks. That's totally not technically classified information.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have your marching orders. Go to this address here. I'm not telling you to go there, sorry. I'm not.
No, I'm not telling you to go there.
Oh, hang on, I'm not American. Go there. You're fine.
Yeah, you don't care. And then on the next page it says, we want this repository to become the place to search for background on Hillary's plotting.
Maybe they should change repository to suppository.
Yeah, she definitely took it up the ass.
Yeah, she did.
Oh god. WikiLeaks first contact with Guccifer. I love that they have to keep writing Guccifer like in a official sense.
Such a bad name as well.
Oh,
it's a cross.
beautiful.
It's a cross between Gucci and Lucifer.
Yeah, and apparently the second iteration.
Right. This one's horns are sharpened, I guess, and made to look fabulous.
Yeah, he's got a fucking Gucci vest on, but he has a Louis Vuitton handbag.
3.0.
All right, let's see here.
3.0 will fix that.
Yes, quite. I'm just gonna keep scrolling down because a lot of this is basically just rehashing the same information about basically how WikiLeaks then took those documents.
Well, GRU transferred it to them.
Yeah, basically GRU transferred it to WikiLeaks, and then WikiLeaks took it and did what everyone knows they did with it. Dispersed it.
Yep. Shared.
Yeah. Like, share, and subscribe.
Please do that. Trups, he'll love it. And WikiLeaks.
Can you imagine if WikiLeaks just had a YouTube channel?
That'd be amazing. Maybe that's how
That'd be funny as hell.
makes some money now.
That, honestly, not a bad idea.
Oh, they'd probably get demonetized straight away.
Well, definitely they would get demonetized, but hey, set up a Patreon. God.
That won't last long.
Summer and fall 2016 operations targeting Democrat-linked victims. So, this is way down, 49.
Oh, sorry, I'm on 45. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm kind of just scrolling through, trying to see if there's anything relevant. Because basically a lot of the information is basically just rehashed over and over.
That does seem to be a prevailing sort of a way of going about this. This whole report seems to just continually repeat itself. But by using new people, it looks like a new argument. It's not a new argument.
But you know what? On page 49, there is something odd here, right?
Okay.
So it says in that first paragraph under summer fall 2016 operations, it says on July 27, 2016, targeted email accounts connected to candidate Clinton's personal office, personal privacy. Earlier that day, candidate Trump made a public statement that included the following: Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing. And then it says in the next paragraph, within approximately 5 hours of Trump's statement, GRU officers targeted for the first time Clinton's personal office. But we knew they already had access to the DNC. So how much of that was really like, okay, the use of the word first time here.
Right.
It's kind of like that sleuth you knew in college who said, yeah, totally, first time.
No, I'm with you on that.
Um, so I don't know, because the investigation did not find evidence of earlier GRU attempts to compromise accounts hosted on this domain. That would be the Clinton Aid domain. Well, actually, no, because that doesn't even make sense. I guess that's the private server she has.
I don't know.
It is unclear how the GRU was able to identify these email accounts, which were not public. Probably from all the information they stole from the DNC. Which,
Yeah.
by the way, that is redacted based on an investigative technique that found nothing in the footnotes.
Yeah, 184, I see. That's bullshit.
Oh, here's how they did it. Fucking next paragraph. They hacked into a DNC account hosted on a cloud computing service.
Oh, yeah, I see, yes. Personal
Yeah,
privacy.
that's how they did it. They
Wow.
went into your cloud system. Fucking idiots.
Wow, I bet the password for that was also password.
Or Clinton 2020.
Yup.
You know what? I want to bet that it's Clinton 2020.
It was done in, it was done, oh no, it was done before the 2016 election, so it's possible it could be Clinton 2016.
Nella, I don't speak Slav. You're going to have to use the English alphabet here and not the Russian.
Oh yeah, I don't speak Russian either, sorry. We've yet to be taken over by the evil big bad people.
Who apparently are really good at trolling.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it's just more hacking, more hacking. Okay, so D, Trump campaign, good. I like that he's D.
What page are we on now for that?
This is 51. It's
Okay.
mostly redacted.
Oh Jesus, yeah it is.
The Trump campaign showed interest in WikiLeaks releases of hacked materials throughout the summer and fall of 2016. Harm to ongoing matter. Background.
Right.
That's what I got.
That is nice and specific.
Yep.
Ongoing matter. I get the feeling with a number of these, they're not, in fact, ongoing matters at all. They're things that have been resolved. They just decided, nah, we'll leave it.
No, I don't think so, because I think it might have to do with the fact that they're investigating other Trump officials for their FARA violations.
Farah?
So that's the foreign agent registration.
Okay. That's something I'm not too familiar with, so that's handy. Did you want to explain what that was?
I'm sorry, say again.
Did you want to explain what that was for those like me who
Oh,
don't
that
know what
was
it
that
is?
was what Manafort got pegged as, because he had contacts with the Ukraine and had dealings with the Ukraine. He technically should have registered when he started the Trump campaign as a foreign agent. He did not do that, and so he did get indicted with that as one of the charges.
Okay.
And Serene says, no, the password was Trump's my president.
Oh, well, Jane says it was. The password is I'm with her.
And Honer Tim, I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I think you might be right. As long as they didn't sign a non-disclosure or any kind of federal document.
Then why are people so keen on having Assange extradited to the US to face charges for putting information out there?
Because the intelligence community is very much controlled by the Democrats.
Controlling the information, huh? Sounds very democratic.
Well, you have to think, in terms of the history of our presidents, we've actually had more what you would consider Democrat presidents over the past, I would say, 3 terms, or 3 presidents, excluding Trump.
Well, you got Clinton,
Whereas Obama,
yeah.
warmonger,
Bill.
drone strike children in Yemen. George Bush expanded federal power by implementing the Patriot Act after 2001, and Bill Clinton, obviously.
As a point, oh no, it's completely left my head. Fuck it, carry on.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be surprising that the last, let's say,
Oh,
at least 24 years of FBI officials would be Democratic,
I
or at
remember.
least expansive of federal power.
Yeah, I remember what I was going to say. You mentioned how Democrats control the
Intelligence.
intelligence. Would we apply that to media as well then?
Without a doubt.
Okay, so this actually brings up an interesting argument I saw on Twitter between Sophane and Red Robot, because Sophane, as always, very much against the president doing anything, to the point where he was praising. Trump was praising a news outlet, and I believe it's one of the very few that support him.
Okay.
And so Sophane went off on one, saying that all Trump does is promote this news outlet. And then Red pointed out to him that it's one of the very few that are Republican or Republican-controlled or conservative-controlled news sites at all.
Was it Breitbart?
No, I think it might have been related to Fox.
Okay, well, at least then it wasn't like the fringe right, because Breitbart, you could argue, is a bit on the outside.
I think he took the stance of it being government funded or something, and that meant it was bad because he was promoting government produced information. And I thought, well, now you've mentioned to me that most of the media information is actually more leaning towards the Democrats. That he's not trying to pass. He's just, I don't know. There's a thought there, and I can't.
No, I see where you're going. One America News. Honey Honey Hippos mentioned it.
Thank you. It's just watching Fane go off on one like that is always very amusing because he is so Democrat.
At first I didn't think he was. I thought he was very center.
I think he's
just, at least from when I had first heard of him.
Yeah.
And then
I think he's just become. I think they refer to the what's that curve? It shifts. So while you ordinarily may have once sat on the left, the Overton window, is that it?
Yeah, the Overton window. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's shifted. So maybe he did sit what could have been considered in the center a few years ago. Is now
maybe
more on the left.
Either that, or he was just counterculture. So whatever was in power of the White House, then he would be against.
Maybe, or because of who was in power last, he then could focus his attentions on other things. But then when it changed, he had to change with it.
Yeah, and Dib, Fox isn't I would call the Daily Wire actually much more of a major network than some people give it credit for because of how much Ben Shapiro's numbers are fucking nuts.
His numbers are good.
He's I think the best Republican or conservative talk show.
He has he's got really good numbers. I'm very jealous.
So does Tim Pool, ironically.
Until he takes that beanie off.
Yes, and then we see that he has a tinfoil hat underneath that. Is Fox fair? Absolutely not.
The embarrassing part is that under the tinfoil hat, there ain't no hair. That's bad.
I was going to say underneath that is another beanie.
Yeah, you're right. That's how.
Let's see here. So I'm kind of just scrolling through, and I'm on page 53.
Yeah,
and it says at the top.
Just before you do that, in case anyone wasn't noting I was being sarcastic, there's my sarcasm sign. Carry on.
Okay, fair enough. So let's see here.
Page.
Moving on to that. Yeah, so it says here that Michael Cohen, former executive vice president of the Trump Organization and special counsel to Donald Trump, told the office... Was he really the former executive vice president?
Which page are we talking about?
53.
Right, on it. Thank you.
Told the office that he recalled an incident in which he was in candidate Trump's office in Trump Tower. Okay, so basically what I'm going to assume, everything related to Michael Cohen in this report is going to be horse shit.
I like, by the way, at the bottom, 204 and 205, grand jury. In red.
Well, that's the first time we've actually seen that.
In red, no less.
Yes. Which I find interesting. And actually, both of those are harm to ongoing matters. So that's an interesting thought as well. That might be related to the ongoing grand jury trials related to Manafort.
Fingers crossed.
Maybe. I'm not quite sure when it comes down to grand jury convening. That one's a little outside the realm of my understanding.
Okay.
But yeah, so scrolling through that because there's really fucking nothing there.
There is nothing here.
No, it's redacted to the point where I can't hardly read anything except for Corsi is an author who holds a doctorate in political science.
Okay.
Thanks.
Cool.
Yeah, like scroll down.
Could have just written Corsi is a virgin.
Right. Well, hold on a second, because we might be able to actually get up out of like the summaries and actually go into these deeper dives. So at page 66, we start getting into the
Scroll.
Russian government links to and contacts with the Trump campaign.
Oh yeah.
So let me see. Okay, so we could go straight there, and that would be that would be like at 144.
Page 144.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. 144. It's most relevant. Might as well just like scroll down to the parts that are important, I guess. Because a lot of it is.
Here we go. Post-election and transition period contacts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you see where it says. Let's see here. Cohen testified before Congress on October 25th, 24th.
On page 144.
Of the report, not of the document of the PDF.
Okay, hang on. Back to 136.
At the bottom of your page, it says 144.
Yeah, it does. But I didn't hear the quote you just. Well, I heard the quote you said, but.
Well, I said the second paragraph where it says on October 24th and 25th, 2017, Cohen testified before Congress.
The office has not uncovered evidence that Manafort brought the Ukraine peace plans. That's what I've got.
What? That's weird.
I'm gonna give me a second.
Hang on, I'm gonna look at you. I'm gonna look at
the
the stream real quick.
144. If I just type it into there, it would take me to 136. Weirdly, this document has like 7 pages. I'm just gonna scroll through a few. Give me a second. Manafort met with Mink. Identified the guy 3 years later. Manafort briefed. Nope.
Yeah, you're on 138.
Yeah, I'm scrolling back up because I was on 144 and it wasn't that.
That's actually very interesting. So, hang on, you're 144.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to confirm this.
Oh, hang on. No, it says on the side, look, page 152. Even though it says 144 on the document, the left side says... I'm going to scroll up a few. 6.
So, wait, your document actually says 144 at the bottom.
It says 144 at the bottom, but on the left side it has a different page number. And
well,
I'm very confused by all of this.
That's fucking interesting, isn't it?
What was the quote again?
On October number 24 and 25, comma.
On October 21.
Yeah. Try control F-ing that and see what happens.
Page 144. No, it takes me somewhere else. This is confusing. Don't worry, I'll keep scrolling through. You talk about it and I'll find it. Because I'm a bit on 144 and it wasn't that.
That's very interesting. Because, so my page 144 says is section 4 of the
Link me your one. That'll save time, won't it?
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll just open your one instead.
Well, okay. So this is interesting that we have 2 different variants of the same.
Mine's from the NPR site.
Okay, mine's from justice.gov.
Yeah, I think I had that one, and I forgot to go and get that instead.
That would have been very interesting to see if I what's it called? Beyond compare both of those to see if somebody's doing a naughty change of details.
Wouldn't surprise me. Right, still loading. Give me a sec.
It should be 356 of 448
What?
on the justice.gov one
You want me to go to page 356?
of 448. It should take you right to where I am.
Okay, because we were saying 144, remember?
144 is the page of the report.
Okay, because... Oh. Okay, that's... Alright, carry on. Got it. Oh, hang on, I need to fix my OBS because that looks fucked.
That's all right.
Let's fix OBS first. There we go. Fixed.
Yes. So this was on October 24th, 25th, 2017, Cohen testified before Congress and repeated the false statements he had included in his written statement about Trump Tower Moscow.
Mm-hmm.
I like that earlier on they had commentary about how Cohen testified in the summary, but then didn't mention that those summary quotes were lies until much later.
Yeah. That's suspect.
It is. It's almost like Mueller did his best to kowtow to both sides on this one.
Yeah.
He knew the Republicans were going to bitch at him if he did blatantly inappropriate kind of characterizations. But the Democrats were going to hound him if he didn't, lean towards he's guilty, Trump being guilty.
Well, he's never gonna be able to sate either side, and someone is going to have a tantrum regardless. That's the way. It's always going to be that way. Because people apparently are petty children.
Yes, they are. Welcome to United States politics 2019.
UK's no better.
I know. But at least we're not France.
They have politics?
I don't know. I can't see through the smoke.
High-vis jackets confuse my eyes.
Oh, yes, of course. Let's see here. Then we have the information on Cohen giving Stormy Daniels a $130,000 settlement, because this is relevant to campaign finance violations.
Where did the money come from?
A fine. It originally came from Cohen, and then that money was paid back by Donald Trump from the organization.
So how is that campaign finance violation?
So that was campaign finance violations because of how a candidate would basically pay hush money. They tried to swing it as coercion, and oh god, what was the other word they used? It was another fucking word they used for that. But it was basically unreported finances that the campaign used. But this comes back to the problem that we had talked about much earlier on in his campaign: is how can you differentiate between Trump's personal funds and that of his company?
What I love most about the Stormy Daniels story is that she lost in court. He beat Trump. Trump won. I like that.
Me too.
It's like a happy. He got two happy endings.
Yes, he did. Right? Isn't that funny? He got to have his cake and eat it too. But so it's interesting because this entire section, like you see all this. Cohen released a statement to news organizations that stated, in a private transaction in 2016, I used my own personal funds to facilitate a payment of $130,000 to the woman.
The woman.
And then I look down at the footnotes and I see the Wall Street Journal is one of the sources.
Yep. That's
That's totally a unbiased and objective source. Oh, look, a Washington Post one.
Yeah. New York Times.
A New York Times right there.
Yeah.
I don't see Fox News. I find that interesting.
I wonder why. Calling her the woman. She's not Irene Adler here. Come on. Just use her name. Or her stage name.
Oh God, what the hell was Stormy Daniels' real name? I forget.
I don't know what it is.
Oh,
Let's just call
all,
her.
all I know is that.
Go on.
So all I know is that in 2018, when Pornhub released their analytics to the world and everyone had to look at it, and laugh, Stormy Daniels is actually one of the highest searched people. I thought that was hilarious.
Her name is Stephanie Clifford.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I feel like I learnt something new today.
Huzzah.
Mm-hmm. Well done, everyone. We learnt something together.
Yes. And then he lied. Neither the Trump organization nor the Trump campaign was party to the transaction. That's true, actually, originally. And neither reimbursed me for the payment. That's false.
Yeah, that was proven false, wasn't it?
Yes. But it was weird because who was he protecting?
Yeah, wasn't it family at first or something? Didn't he claim family?
Well, I mean, okay, so it's weird when talking about the Michael Cohen. It's almost like putting together like a puzzle over like the last like 2 years worth of news that we've covered.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at all this, I could have run an entire channel just off the Mueller report, just using their sources.
Could be your own Daddy 05, 10 videos a day on little bits you found out.
I would want to end myself.
I'd give you the
10 videos a day. Fuck that.
I'd give you the gun to do it.
Oh please! I'm in America. I have my own.
Oh well, mine's a Nerf one, so it'd need a few shots.
Oh yeah, I would have to turn up the air compressor a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was like, okay, so what was Michael Cohen really like saving him from? Embarrassment?
I think it did appear when I remember talking about this. The word that came into my head was, this feels like an optics thing.
Yeah, but like, it's not the first time we've had weird optics in the White House. I mean, Hillary Clinton should be very aware of that. Not only did her husband cheat,
Giggity.
and the reason he got impeached was he lied under oath.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get impeached because he did the thing. He got impeached because he lied about it under oath.
He did not have sexual relations with that woman, don't you know?
Yes, and that is a very, very popular quote. Just because of that was a lie.
Mm-hmm. I like the quagmire version, but I can't say it because I don't know the pronunciation of Guggoigenum. Her, and then other words he came up with giggity and heavily memed. That was one hell of a lie. I remember it as a kid as well. It was precious.
But no, that was the reason why. So I imagine moving on with that lifestyle must have been really weird in that household. It's like Hillary wasn't able to suicide her own husband, so
it would have been a bit of a trick.
Mm-hmm. But scrolling down to the next page, we see more information about Cohen, and then we see something that actually is relatively interesting. It says on or about April 17th.
Yeah.
On or about April 17, 2018, Cohen began speaking with an attorney, Robert Costello, who had a close relationship with Rudolph Giuliani, one of the president's personal lawyers. This is true, and still true. Costello told Cohen that he had a back channel of communication to Giuliani, and that Giuliani had said the channel was crucial and must be maintained. Okay, so back channel of information, back channel of what? I'm guessing it was information because a lot of the things directly above regard information and communications.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Mm-hmm. But No, that's a very odd, like kind of odd little thing there. That it's almost like they tried to get him a gotcha, but if that's just personal lawyer, you think that back channels of communication would probably be fucking crucial.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
It's like, oh yeah, I need to be able to contact my lawyer. Oh well, I'm the president. Well, give me my burner phone.
Yeah, that actually is, yeah. Yeah. Also, how long's Cohen going to prison for?
Oh my god, that's if he fucking goes. I think it's only for like some BS 3 years or something.
So, 18 months.
Yeah. Okay, the lady who threw away 7 puppies in a plastic bag in a
Yeah,
dumpster faces 9 years.
That might be my video for tomorrow because I don't like animal abuse.
Fair enough. That bitch just deserves to burn.
Well,
But
there's also a story of a person went to Iceland for a couple of days, came back. Their husky, they were told the husky had died, and the baby dog, the husky was given to them, wrapped up in parcel tape. It was a ball. They crushed
that's disturbing. I don't want to hear about it right
now. Sorry, carry on.
That's all right. Anyway, so let's see here. Scrolling down. This is all Cohen. Let's see here. No, still Cohen.
Yep.
Still Cohen.
Donald Trump's tweets are referenced.
God damn. This is Cohen for the next 7 pages.
I'm on page 149.
Yeah, keep scrolling. Like, I'm trying to see where the fuck Cohen stops.
Okay.
Oh, finally. Analysis 153.
Right, I was on 150. Yep,
Yeah.
Here we go.
Analysis. In analyzing the president's conduct related to Cohen, the following evidence is relevant to the elements of obstruction of justice. Huzzah! We have a thing. It took 150-something pages.
Yay.
We gathered evidence of the president's conduct related to Cohen on 2 issues. 1, whether the president or others aided or participated in Cohen's false statements to Congress. And 2, whether the president took actions that would have the natural tendency to prevent Cohen from providing truthful information to the government. 1, first with regard to Cohen's false statements to Congress, while there is evidence described below that the president knew Cohen provided false testimony to Congress about the Trump Tower Moscow project, the evidence available to us does not establish that the president directed or aided Cohen's false testimony. No, because he's a fucking scumbag just by himself.
Mm-hmm. Hang on, you mean Cohen, right?
Yeah, it's Cohen.
Cool.
No, because Cohen admitted, even to Congress. So I mean, fucking take that as you will. Like, honestly, the problem is when you start becoming a liar, when you start becoming a professional liar, then everything you say is potentially a fucking lie.
Mm-hmm. What I meant is, when I first heard you read that paragraph out and then say because he's a fucking liar, it sounded to me like you meant Trump. But only because I misheard.
Yes,
I misheard you. That's all.
I may have made a gaffe on my wording, so I'll take that.
It's all good. So basically,
let's see here.
They got nothing so far.
Yeah, scrolling down because basically just explaining more about Cohen. And basically this was talking about that Cohen testimony that he gave, where it was basically like, did Trump tell you to do this? No, but he doesn't have to tell you.
Okay, so 2 is referenced on page 154.
Right. We considered whether the president took actions that would have the natural tendency to prevent Cohen from providing truthful information to criminal investigators or to Congress. So I don't like the wording of that statement. Because what they're alluding to sounds like intimidation.
That's such a good point. It's very cleverly written, though.
Because basically,
natural tendency. That's interesting.
Right, because that's so weirdly worded to avoid putting the word intimidate in there. Like, have the natural tendency. Who the fuck ever has said that ever? Like, it's such weird, like,
on animal programs,
legal
perhaps.
jargon.
Natural tendency. I've heard that, but not legally.
Right, but I have never heard took actions that would have the natural tendency to prevent.
Yeah.
that altogether just sounds like legal jargon, which basically just amounts to we're going to use really fancy words so that we obscure what we're actually trying to say
Well,
here.
it just sounds like the president was trying to stop him by making it by, I don't know, using deceit, but kind of ish.
Right.
Can they prove it? Let's have a look at this paragraph.
It doesn't look like it. It says before Cohen began to cooperate with the government, I call that even a wishy-washy statement.
You only did it when he was fucked.
Cohen recalled the president's personal counsel telling him that he would be protected so long as he didn't go, quote, rogue.
Well, if he doesn't lie, he'd be fine.
You know, it's weird. It's a quote, but I don't see a footnote.
That's a point. Scroll to the footnotes. Oh, well, this just keeps going, and I don't see a single footnote.
So I find this all to be odd.
You know,
But it may have been previous. This is an analysis after all.
Well, it does reference above conversations beyond that containing the president's written response to the special counsel's office. Maybe that's their reference, I guess. Maybe, I don't know.
And this is actually not as much of a incriminating statement. And it says here, in the days and weeks that followed the April 2018 searches of Cohen's home and office, the president told reporters that Cohen was a good man and said he was a fine person with a wonderful family who I have always liked and respected.
Mm-hmm.
Taking away the fact that he's a liar.
Yeah.
He was also a professional liar. Mm-hmm. He's a lawyer.
What I like is that in the next paragraph...
he is an attorney.
No, what I mean is in the next paragraph, President accused Cohen of making up stories in order to get himself out of unrelated jam, called Cohen a rat, and on multiple occasions publicly suggested Cohen's family members had committed crimes. Within a paragraph. That's beautiful.
It's interesting, though, right? Because then it's like, oh... So like think about how actually genius this is, right? Cohen starts talking about Stormy Daniels, says that he didn't do anything with Stormy Daniels. Then he says, well, okay, we kind of did. And then he says, yes, we definitely did.
Okay.
When he says we definitely did, he's already lied so much. So Trump calls him a rat.
Yeah, I do want to quickly adjust the chat. Jonas Peterson, you mentioned no footnotes in the analyses, facts already established. That may be the case, but you should still cite your source regardless.
Right, like I would have at least liked a reference back to an earlier footnote.
Yeah, you should always
like
cite.
Even if you have to call up footnote like whatever, like 511, for example, like at least do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm totally on board with that. There could have been a number related to that. I'm pretty sure I've heard
MLA format, everybody. Fuck you.
I do remember the rogue related remarks. I do remember that, but I can't place it. That's the problem, and they should do that.
But what I was saying was like, okay, so now he calls him a rat.
Yep.
Which would imply to anybody listening that, okay, so what he's saying now is true. But it turned out that was a lie.
Yeah.
So, regardless of what Trump had to say in that moment, he called him a rat.
Mm-hmm.
Was he really, or was he telling the truth? Or was he a liar?
Was it?
You don't know because he's lied so much you can't tell.
It's the problem with Cohen. Because now they're using him as a star witness. And it's like you can't use a star witness who's been through the court system and proven a liar. He has no credibility. He's the guy that cried wolf. It's just bullshit.
But it's the greatest game of Clue ever. Because you are so confused at what the other person is holding in their hand that you wouldn't dare question.
Yeah, it's absolutely...
what's in the box.
It's baffling.
It's actually incredible how much like backwards thinking you have to go through to figure out who's actually more lying.
It's too much.
That's actually incredible.
It's so much effort.
Mm-hmm. Nexus to an official proceeding. The president's relevant conduct towards Cohen occurred when the president knew the special counsel's office Congress and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York were investigating Cohen's conduct. Maybe he was just trying to protect Cohen.
Well, at first he was, wasn't he?
Well, I imagine, like, think about it. Like, what if Trump was actually just trying to protect Cohen? Just, not even himself, but just Cohen, because he liked his family.
We did like.
But then Cohen basically kind of said, "Yo, fuck off! I don't need your help." All right, burn, bitch.
Yeah, that family kind of blew their chance.
Well, it's kind of like you extend a hand to somebody who's, hanging by a ledge, and they slap it away. Like, all right, fine, burn. I don't give a shit.
Maddie has very kindly linked us a Jim Jordan related.
I love Jim Jordan. Do you wanna basically use that and then basically wrap it up, since
Lol.
I mean, basically what we have here left is overarching factual issues.
I just clicked on it from the chat because I got the chat popped out. You know what just happened?
No.
It's opened it in the chat box. My chat has vanished.
That's wow.
I'm not even kidding. I'll screenshot that and send it to you. I'll send it to you after the stream. I'll have to go and Maddie, where's your thing? Okay, why is it not showing that right?
Democrats saying
chat.
I'm scrolling up through the chat and I love it.
It's fine. Pull that up.
Yeah.
I'll go back here for a second while I fix it. Video there. I'm going to quickly close chat dashboard, pop out the chat, move that over there so I can see it. I do apologize, people. Apparently YouTube had a boomer moment.
Yeah, that seems quite commonplace at this point.
Okay, let's go with this one. Yep, got it. You ready?
Statement. Mr. Chairman, here we go. Here we go. Your first big hearing, your first announced witness, Michael Cohen. I want everyone in this room to think about this. The first announced witness for the 116th Congress is a guy who is going to prison in 2 months for lying to Congress. Mr. Chairman, your chairmanship will always be identified.
I remember this video. This is an absolutely glorious video because he looks like Cohen looks like he's going to cry the whole time. Should I keep playing?
Yeah. I can't have. I don't have the sound on my end. So
22 seconds in.
No. It's just like I don't have the sound on my end because I actually don't have the link because she linked it, but like for whatever reason wasn't with me.
It's fine.
So
I will DM it to you now. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Hiya. All right. Let me throw that over there, and then let's.
I'll even go back to the start. That way we can press play at the same time if you want.
Okay. Sounds good.
Say when.
I will do that in a second. As soon as I open up that goddamn thing. Because it does not like me.
Yeah, and this video is probably one of my favorites. Especially because the Cummings, the chair of this, he had a few moments that amused me. He clearly had some bias.
Okay. I have it up now.
Mr. Jordan is recognized for his opening.
Sorry, what?
Volume, turn that back on. All right, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, play.
Mr. Jordan is recognized for his opening statement.
Mr. Chairman, here we go. Here we go. Your first big hearing, your first announced witness, Michael Cohen. I want everyone in this room to think about this. The first announced witness for the 116th Congress is a guy who is going to prison in 2 months for lying to Congress. Mr. Chairman, your chairmanship will always be identified with this hearing. And we all need to understand what this is. This is the Michael Cohen hearing presented by Lanny Davis. That's right. Lanny Davis choreographed the whole darn thing. The Clintons' best friend, loyalist, operative, Lanny Davis, put this all together. You know how we know? He told our staff. He told the committee staff. He said the hearing was his idea. He selected this committee. He had to talk Michael Cohen into coming. And most importantly, he had to persuade the chairman to actually have it. He told us it took 2 months to get that job done, but here we are. He talked him into it. This might be the first time someone convicted of lying to Congress has appeared again so quickly in front of Congress. Certainly, it's the first time a convicted perjurer has been brought back to be a star witness in a hearing. And there's a reason this is the first, because no other committee would do it. Think about this. With Mr. Cohen here, this committee, we got lots of lawyers on this committee. This committee is actually encouraging a witness to violate attorney-client privilege. Mr. Chairman, when we legitimize dishonesty, we delegitimize this institution. We're supposed to pursue the truth, but you have stacked the deck against the truth. We're only allowed to ask certain questions. Even with that amendment you just told us about, well, Russia's now on the table. You initially told us we can't ask questions about the special counsel, can't ask questions about the Southern District of New York, can't ask questions about Russia. Nope. Nope. Only subjects we can talk about are ones you think are going to be harmful to the President of the United States. And the answers to those questions are going to come from a guy who can't be trusted. Here's what the U.S. Attorney said about Mr. Cohen. While Mr. Cohen enjoyed a privileged life, his desire for ever greater wealth and influence precipitated an extensive course of criminal conduct. Mr. Cohen committed four distinct federal crimes over a period of several years. He was motivated to do so by personal greed and repeatedly used his power and influence for deceptive ends. But the Democrats don't care. They don't care. They just want to use you, Mr. Cohen. You're their patsy today. They got to find somebody, somewhere, to say something so they can try to remove the president from office. Because Tom Steyer told him to. Tom Steyer, last week, organized a town hall. Guess where? Chairman Nadler's district in Manhattan. 2 nights ago, Tom Steyer organized a town hall. Guess where? Chairman Cummings' district in Baltimore. The best they can find to start this process, Michael Cohen. Fraudster, cheat, convicted felon, and in 2 months a federal inmate. Well, actually, they didn't find him. Laney Davis found him. I'll say one thing about the Democrats. They stick to the playbook. Remember how all this started. The Clinton campaign hired Perkins Coie law firm, who hired Glenn Simpson, who hired a foreigner, Christopher Steele, who put together the fake dossier that the FBI used to go get a warrant to spy on the Trump campaign. But when that whole scheme failed, and the American people said, we're going to make Donald Trump president, they said, we got to do something else. So now, Clinton loyalist, Clinton operative Laney Davis has persuaded the chairman of the Oversight Committee to give a convicted felon a forum to tell stories and lie about the President of the United States so they can all start their impeachment process. Mr. Chairman, we are better than this. We are better than this. I yield back.
Okay, that was me typing, by the way, Dibs.
Yeah.
Was there anything else we should talk about then?
No, I think that's honestly like about it. Honestly, if we wanted to like sum up like the final findings of the Mueller report on Friday while talking about other things, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And I think honestly, we did talk about how basically most of the Mueller report this time around in this iteration, this part has basically just been Cohen. By the way, did you know the Russians did this? They have no relation to Trump, but hey, they did it.
There wasn't as much Russian-related stuff in this one. In fact, Cohen...
Well, we skipped a lot of it.
Yeah, but Cohen was like the main focus, really. There's so much on him.
And that's why, honestly, I think they couldn't find anything on him. Because let's say, right, Cohen had told the truth.
Yeah.
They probably could have gotten him on something, gotten Trump on something. But Cohen was a liar. So no.
Yeah, I remember when we covered that video originally, and I have to agree, it is an absolute state of integrity that if you're now going to use someone who is being set up to only answer specific questions, it feels loaded. Then
Exactly.
it devalues integrity. And to those asking, I'm going to answer a couple of things from the chat. The typing is because my keyboard's very loud and the Yeti is right in front of it. I do need to buy a new keyboard. This one came with a PC, but it's so loud. And the reason I'm wearing this chibi tutu outfit is because the artistic style is the same as that of Trups's, made by the same person. Therefore, I'm quite happy for you to all marvel at how fantastic my legs look. There is a GIF version of this, but there's a white ring around the edge of it, and I need to get rid of the white ring first. And then the eyebrows will move. Won't that be better? Yeah. Anyway, did you want to shill something before we finish?
I really don't have a whole lot this week.
Okay. I will be releasing a video tomorrow, and I'll be streaming Euro Truck on the Omegon Plays channel. So feel free to go to the this channel page, and the game channel's on the side. I guess watch this space. Did you want to say good night, Trups?
Yes. Good night, Trups.
Good night.